sometime they will be talking seriously. So it is wrong for this government to think that you can just wake up, use force, little weapons to disperse crowd.
But the army
doesn't work.
They've been speaking about why that happened. Look at Vanguard says the Biafra were acted in self-defense army.
That is possible. But what do we do under this circumstance? Institute a panel, judicial inquiry. Because the police, the security forces will be compromised under this. They have a side to the story. The people themselves have a side to the story. So the security cannot handle this. They let them continue with their own investigation. There's no doubt about that. But for us to get to the root of this matter, a judicial panel of inquiry has to be instituted to look at all the cases. I ran into one, December 2nd. I left Lagos, December 2nd, to Aba. On my way, somewhere in Asaba and Onitsha, I saw this and I parked. First of all, safety. But within that period, I noticed a lot of things. I saw so many things. That is one side of the story. So there are different sides. Institute a panel of inquiry, a judicial one for that matter. Let them look at all the cases. I saw another in Aba St. Michael's Road, I think 17th or 18th of February. That was another serious one. So we cannot...
What was it you saw?
I mean another conflict, another clash. People waving flags and gunshots. Of course, I ran for my dear life, abandoning my car. And in the milieu, a few minutes after, people were lying on the floor. So I know that different people have different stories to tell about what is happening. The only way we can get to the truth, the root of this, is to institute a judicial panel of inquiry. Let people be invited to say what they know about it. But I advise the federal government to get very well-meaning people, not politicians. To look, politicians can play a role, there's no doubt about that, but people who will tell us the truth about what has triggered this, what has sustained it, and the way out. There is no way we can solve this problem by shooting little weapons into crowd. It will not be solved that way.
Do you think the meeting that the president had with some both political and other leaders from the southeast will help?
Well, it depends on what he told them, and I suspect that he must have given stern warnings. I also suspect that he must have let them know that some of their behavior is contributing to this, and that may explain why none of them accepted to talk to us after the meeting. But whatever he told them, the issue here remains that people are hopeless. People don't seem to have a future in the way Nigeria is structured. The regions should get busier than they are. The governors themselves are not helping matters, because when you look at it, none of them have conducted local government elections in the grassroots. So resources to the local governments are being administered and appropriated and misappropriated and squandered and swallowed by the governors themselves. So you see that in local communities there is no presence of government or any activity that can give a youth hope.
What can the elders in these regions help? How can they help to resolve this entire issue?
The elders are almost losing grip. When you cannot fend for your child, you cannot tell this child when to go out and when to come in. Our parents were able to tell us 6 p.m. everybody returned home. Why? They fed us, they paid our school fees, they clothed us. But if I have to fend for myself, who the hell are you to tell me when to go out and when to come back? So you go to homes, you don't find these boys. Come to the east, let me take you around. I will take the risk. Take you around and you see hopelessness. People who are embedded in industry, people who have energy to do things, and those energies are wasted, deployed during elections, and dumped after you win or you lose, and you want them to do what? Listen, this thing is beyond Ojukwu. It's beyond any Igbo think tank group. It's beyond any military. It is beyond any police, beyond any gun. It's now a religion. Believe me or not.
How do you think they are funded?
You see, when you are determined, funding is no issue. Once you're determined, funding is no issue. And I think I will leave it at that. Their determination is the funding. Their hopelessness is the source of their funding.
If we were to revisit, there's been several conferences in this country. I mean, at the time, everybody kept on talking about how the conference needed to happen. One happened recently. Do you think that we should, in any way, take a look at some pages of that document, or we actually do have the solution in leadership in this country?
You see, I see these conferences as interventionist efforts. We have assemblies from states to the National Assembly. Nigeria adopted a bicameral system of legislation. They are there at the lower assembly. They are there. All we hear, 36 million naira jeep, to represent young people who have no hope. Sometimes I look at the way we think and the way we do things and the way we accept malfeasance, and I wonder how we will succeed. So, when you talk about constituting another conference, these documents are there. And then we have assemblies. They can amend the constitution, alter the code of conduct document. And they are not amending the constitution to give more powers to states and regions.
What kind of roles?
What are we doing in leadership?
What would be your impression of what, say, Southeast, both political leadership and every other leadership there? How do you think they're helping to see how they can calm this down? They
are not helping. I would tell you, they are not helping because
in any way
they can't help. There is a major disconnect between leadership. No, you see, government is running a cocoon. When you misappropriate resources, when you buy Jeep and get on a high gravity, when you tint the car and the man outside does not see you, when you build mansions and fortresses, have security men that are supposed to provide security for a larger populace, and then you appropriate 2030 to one VIP, and then let's not even discuss about the beggar, VIPs. You have cocooned yourself. You have shielded yourself. Yeah, so there is no way you can understand what their needs are. I will tell you, information reaching me is that over 1,000 youths from my local government were assembled at a place and cash being given to them.
What for?
Beautiful. We will find out why. But it's obvious that government is not impacting on them.
But does that
what you do at this time is to just give them some pittance to go feed themselves for the weekend, long holiday, and then the roulette continues.
Would it be out of place if governors in the Southeast come together and perhaps maybe talk about building an industrial park, not minding whichever state it will be domiciled, a gas-powered industrial park, since they have a lot of gas in that region, and ensure that you create jobs, stimulate the economy in the region?
These guys, unfortunately, are powered by a bloated ego. So it's even difficult for them to come together in the interest of the people. When you see them gather, it's an exhibition of who has the largest security on his convoy.
In spite of the security challenge that is going on there?
You see, bring them. Let them tell you what. You have access to them. Let them tell you. Take an unguided tour. Because that's one thing I don't like about the media these days. The governor or chief executive invites you. He breathes on your neck until you leave the state. No. Let channels deploy its crew on an investigative mission into some of these states. Come to Abia. Go to Imo. Go to Enugu, because we are talking Southeast now. Go to Ebonyi. Disregard who you have on the governor's press crew and do your job and publish it verbatim. You will find out that these guys have lost touch. And that is why they spend so much money during elections and re-election. Because the people believe that this is what we can get now. Give it to me. Because I know when you get there, you don't care about me anymore. So they spend heavily and get in there and recoup their money.
All right, Chigozie Obani, security consultant, thank you for your thoughts today on the program. And that's where we draw the curtains as well. Well, you can send your comments and keep them coming. We appreciate all of them. But we'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain. What's up?
I'm Neil Tagbe. Thank you for watching.
Many thanks. I'm Sulaiman. Later. See you again.